Today we will discuss about neurology section, and in neurology, this is in neurology. There are few area which is more important in EDIC part one. Like before you are appearing for EDIC part two, you have to have a clear concept about flaccid paralysis, Guillain-Barré syndrome, and the differential diagnosis that was in the last exam they have taken. Then subarachnoid hemorrhage, obviously it is very common. Sometimes they give traumatic brain injury, extradural hematoma. Either you can get in the case or you can get in the CT scan. Then you will have the ICP monitoring, and then you have the EVD, or you can have the acute stroke or brain death. These are the area where you have to be mastered before you are preparing for the exam. Now start with the case. 28-year-old male motorcyclist, no helmet was there, is brought after high speed road traffic accident. GCS 8 by 15, BP 86 by 54, heart rate 126, saturation is 88, non-breathing marks, and the pupil is 5 millimeter, sluggish reacting, airway, blood vomiters in the oropharynx, first is negative, chest X-ray, no pneumonia. Sometime they can give you the fast and chest X-ray uh, result, but sometime they will give you only the scenario, and they will ask commonly how you will approach this case. So tell me, what is your approach? So outline your immediate resuscitation. Uh, i- if they tell you that what you are going to do, so always in EDIC exam, always remember when you are approaching patient, you have to go by systematic approach: A, B, C, D, E, F. So A for airway and breathing, you will take because GCS is 8, blood vomiters. So you have to take care of the airway, then breathing, then you go to circulation. The trauma patient, hypotension, hemorrhagic shock might be there. So you have to approach for resuscitation. That time they might ask you about the blood product, liberation fluid strategy or conservative strategy, and they can ask you about the rapid sequence intubation. What are the things you will do? What will be your advice to the nurse? Actually, this exam is a consultant exam in Europe. So once you pass this exam, you will be treat as a junior consultant or register, and subsequently you will be the consultant. So they test your skill, your knowledge as per the covert press guideline, that what are the basic knowledge you have to have. Then they might ask you about the survey, the primary survey, secondary survey, and they might ask you question on the ATS guideline, because whenever this trauma, you have to whenever any cases, any cases, you go through the guidelines like acute MI. So what is the guideline say? If the trauma ATS guideline, what is the ATS guideline? Is like that. If the patient having asthma, you have to know the GINA guideline. If you have a patient with COPD, you have to know the GOLD guideline. So always try to mug up the guidelines, and your answer should be on the base of the guidelines. Like when you approach the sepsis patient, you have to have knowledge on the surviving sepsis guidelines. And 2026 there is a new guideline has come. So those who are appearing in this in future exam on the November, you have to have the knowledge of uh, surviving sepsis 2026 recommendation. So there might be question, what are the post-intubation goal for oxygen ventilation and perfusion? So the model answer should be your priority will be as based on the A B C D E, and because of trauma patient, you have to remember that cervical spine immobilization is the priority thing. If you not utter this thing, then might not give you the numbers. And correct hypotension, hypoxia, air in airway, you have to do RSI with manual inline stabilization, because you don't know whether there is a cervical spine fracture is there or not. Then they might ask you what are the agent you will use. Then intermediate propofol will be the ideal agent here. You can use fentanyl, rocuronium, uh, propofol. If you use, patient has to be hemodynamically stable, or there is a chance of hypotension. Propofol causes hypotension, though it is less hypotensive than your thiopentan. But intermediate is good if it is an unstable patient. Then you have to prevent secondary injury. Secondary injury like your hypercapnia, hypotension, hyperglycemia, coughing. Coughing can raise intracranial pressure, so you have to avoid coughing and gagging. And then your target will be saturation more than 95%, PO2 is more than 100 or near to be 100, PaCO2 is in the normal range 35 to 40, systolic blood pressure or MAP should be 75. So you have to utter all these things.